So United Sacrifice, very similar to Blood Hunter, at least from what I saw when I skimmed through this a little bit earlier. Basically, you do a little bit of damage to yourself to get a little bit more of a boost at level 3. But first one, Adversity. You take damage. When you take damage, your effectiveness in combat increases. Each time you take at least 10 damage in a single attack, you gain a +1 bonus to all weapon and unarmed strike damage. This bonus lasts a minute from the last time that the bonus was gained. If you fall to 0 HP, the bonus resets to 0. So, interesting. Adversity could... You know what? Actually, it's not that bad. So, it's at least 10 damage in a single attack, but once. So, like, if you take 50 damage, you're still only getting a +1 bonus. Yeah, so Adversity. So, yeah, that +1 damage, you're only getting it once per attack, so that's interesting. So, it's not going to get too crazy unless you have, like, you know, if you're taking 10 damage 20 times, then yeah, it could get a little out of hand, but, like, that's part of the ability. So, but the only chances you're going to be able to do that is if you have 200 HP and you're, like, at death's door and you hang around the fight long enough. Bloodletting, when you make an attack, you may take 1d6 damage. And then you can deal an extra 2d6 necrotic damage. The damage you take from this ability cannot be resisted. So you can't resist your own 1d6 damage, flat out. You can't use this ability if you have less than 6 HP. And then at level 15, the ability deals 3d6 necrotic damage. So, interesting the way that kind of goes. I don't mind it. I think it actually works out pretty well. I think that comparatively to... I gotta find the fighter, because I don't have the fighter up right now. When we look at some of the base class fighters, we'll just go to Battlemaster. Battlemaster's a bad example. Let's go to Cavalier. You get a couple abilities, bonus proficiencies, and then Born to Saddle, so your saving throws to avoid falling off are better. I mean, I think that these kind of work out pretty well. I feel like... I mean, you're using your pool of HP to make up for the fact. And by the way, this particular Knight of Sacrifice comes from UHDNRT on our Discord channel, so make sure you check him out. Him or her out. I can't say which it is, so gender neutral out. They actually have a couple of different things on here, so it'll be really kind of cool to check out. So that's interesting. And then resist death, resistant necrotic damage. In addition, you get a +1 bonus to your death saves. That's interesting. I don't mind that. I still don't mind that, because if we're looking at, we get a warding maneuver, we can roll and add some AC. If the attack still hits, they get resistance against it. So I don't mind that so much. Black Bane, do 3d6 damage to yourself and select a point within 60 feet. Necrotic energy explodes in a 10-foot radius, dealing 68 necrotic damage. Creatures in the area effect must make a con save against all that stuff for half damage. The damage you deal to yourself cannot be resisted. You cannot use this ability if you have 18 hit points or less. Makes sense. I guess, yeah, again, your pool of hit points is your resource that you're spending here. So you can Black Bane a lot, but you might kill yourself in the process. So, interesting. Vengeance, when you've been dealt damage from a melee attack as a reaction, you deal the same amount, which... over 20, whichever is lower, to the creature that attacked you. Okay, alright. And then Blaze of Glory, you attain a Pinnacle of Sacrifice when you follow the 0 HP, an explosion of the necrotic energy lashes out from creatures within 10 feet, take 12 d fire. Targets can make a strength save, or for half damage, the ability can only be used once for a long rest. Makes sense. Probably can only be used once, right? So that's interesting. I'm going to put the link for Knight of Sacrifice into the chat just so you guys can check it out yourself. It's on D&D Beyond, so it's actually easy to share. But this one's interesting. I would like to see... I believe UHDNRT did say that they've gotten only up to level 7 in their current campaign with it. I'd like to see more playtesting of this, but I think this is pretty cool. I really do. This is kind of cool. I like this kind of idea. It reminds me of Blood Hunter, but a little different. So, I'd be interested to see how this kind of goes and plays with some of these other features, like your extra... not necessarily your extra attacks, but if you kind of paired it with like how the fighting styles would work and how it would kind of play on with each other. So, it'd be interesting to see.